Friends ask me why I need to install additional dash cams on my Tesla Model 3, as it already has 5 built-in cameras in front, on the side, and in the rear. This 4K dashcam from 70mi that I installed has a much wider field of view with 4K resolution and HDR. This is the real 4K footage copied directly from the camera, unedited. When compared with the Tesla footage, the difference is night and day. You can even use it as a rear-facing backup camera if your car does not have one. It's very compact. This is what it looks like inside the car. The back camera records in 1080p resolution. You will find a lot of real-world footage later in this video, during daytime and nighttime. The Tesla camera is really designed for autonomous driving and does not have a lot of details due to lower resolution, and it looks very grainy in low light condition. However, I can easily read license plates from the 4K footage in the 70mi camera when zoomed in. Its rear-facing camera is only 1080p, but it is still way better than this from Tesla backup camera. So why not have both? It's really nice to have the redundancy. It preserves 30 seconds of emergency recording so it cannot be overwritten. This is very useful in case of an accident. With the 70mi smartphone app, I can wirelessly access and download the footage to my phone. This is a huge advantage over the Tesla built-in camera since I cannot read the footage without a USB-C dongle. I'll do a full app walkthrough later in this video. The cable management is not the best, but I can clean it up later. So I route it through the trim, plugs in on the right side. The other one is the USB Type-C power supply that goes into my 12-volt socket. I'll show you more details in the unboxing section later. It has Sony sensors, AI motion detection, and dual camera recording. The main camera, which has adjustable angles. The rear view camera, which is very lightweight. The connection is made using this proprietary 4-pin connector. The car 12-volt to 5 volts charging adapter, 2 USB Type-A ports, the extension cord. So this looks like a micro HDMI connection. It goes into the main camera, then connects to the rear view camera. It's impossible to reverse the connection as it has a slot. You have to line it up, so that's good. The double-sided tape for mounting, the power supply that goes into the car charging adapter, USB Type-C input. There's a micro SD card slot. I'll be using the SanDisk 256 GB SD card. It has 4 physical buttons. Button 1, 2, 3, 4. There's a power on-off switch. It has a 3-inch built-in IPS screen with a 640 by 360p resolution. With the mounting bracket. So you attach this mounting base to the car windshield, and then you can slide it in. So it can be easily removed. The 2 clear base plates making removing and repositioning the camera a lot easier. Hardwire kit. On my Honda Odyssey, for example, when the car is powered off, the battery, the 12-volt socket is cut off, therefore it will not be able to power the camera. So you can directly hook this up to the car battery for continuous recording. I'm going to set up the 70mi dash camera with my iPhone 15 so I can view the footage in the SD card remotely. Now I'm going to insert a 256 GB SD card from SanDisk. It will initiate the formatting if it is not ready for use yet. And the power consumption of the dash cam is around 5 watts. As you can see from this USB power meter, I also have the rear view dash camera connected as well. Now I'm going to the system setting. Wi-Fi hotspot, turn on hotspot. I'm going to add the device. It looks like it is already recognized from the first screen. It has Bluetooth connection. So I think the first initialization was done using Bluetooth. Now the hotspot, join the hotspot. It has the Wi-Fi hotspot. The default password is 1234678, and it can be, of course, changed later. It looks like it's not recognized yet, so I'm gonna do it manually. Oh, it is connected already. All right, awesome. Recording continues. When the device is connected, it will be locked and the button functions will not be available. Got it. Yes, the preview does not work on the built-in camera anymore. As an alternative to the hot wiring method to the car 12-volt battery to get continuous 24-hour recording, you probably want to use a battery bank as a power supply, then use another USB-C cable to charge the battery bank and use it at the same time as a pass-through battery buffer. At 83% battery life, I'm getting over 23 hours of runtime. So when it's fully charged, it can easily supply at least a day of usage. The power consumption is only 3.5 watts when the rear camera is not connected and it is recording 4K footage. Oh, when I bumped it, it detected the acceleration and it starts recording the 30 seconds emergency video. That is very good. So when your car get bumped during when it's parked and when the car is off, you can still be able to protect the car and get the security footage, right? But I do have to point out this parking surveillance cable is required if you want to use the parking security feature like the collision detection, motion detection, and time-lapse photography. Looks like it has a certain chip to communicate with the camera when the USB-C cable is not this type of cable. It will not be able to allow me to use the feature listed here. In this section, I'm gonna include about 4 minutes of 4K footage from the 70mm dashcam front camera and walk you through the app at the same time. The 70mm dash camera supports real-time wireless monitoring over Wi-Fi, and you're looking at the iPhone screen recording on the left side. Using the camera icon, I can take a photo of what the camera is looking at right now. One of the most useful features of the app is being able to wirelessly access the footage stored inside the SD card and being able to download it locally to my phone. If there was an accident, I can quickly identify the clip that I want and save it to my phone without having to use any of the USB-C hubs or dongle adapters. There's a direct Wi-Fi connection between the dashcam and the phone. However, the 5G or LTE data access to the mobile provider is uninterrupted, which means I can still use the internet. The timeline UI is pretty useful as I don't have to go through individual files. I only have to swipe the timeline left or right to find the time slot that I want. Under the settings menu, there are tons of options to go through. If you're using a modern phone, you probably want to use the high compression for video encoding format. The rest of the settings are pretty self-explanatory. It's worth mentioning that you don't have to record in 4K if the storage space of the SD card is a concern. You can totally use 1080p and get great results as well. As mentioned earlier, the parking security feature requires the special cable to be hotwired to the car battery, so I did not test that part. But if hardwire is connected, it can provide a pretty comprehensive surveillance package with collision detection, motion detection, and time-lapse photography. These features can be incredibly useful, like the Tesla Sentry mode. The emergency video recording can be activated automatically or manually by a button press. The ADAS stands for Advanced Driver Assistance System, which has lane departure alert, pedestrian biker alert, and front collision alert. This is by far the most advanced 4K dashcam I've ever tested. The video quality is top-notch, definitely the best I've seen, thanks to the Sony sensors. As you can see here, the smartphone app is very well designed, it's responsive, and all the menu settings makes perfect sense. It's super easy to use and not much of a learning curve at all. This front and rear dashcam kit is a great addition to my Tesla Model 3. It gives me a great peace of mind knowing I have 2 copies of front and rear footage in the car, and being able to access it remotely, wirelessly, is a huge plus. Not to mention there's a crystal clear enhanced 4K front-facing camera. You do have to keep the windshield clean to get the best results. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you find this review helpful.